Hey guys, welcome to today's session. If somebody in the Discord could just confirm that you can hear me and see my screen, I would really appreciate that. I've had some audio issues over the past couple of sessions, so I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me and see me. You might not see me in the Discord, but you will see my screen before we get started. I also had a warning message saying that there's issues with streaming on Instagram at the moment. So if you are watching on Instagram and it cuts out at any point, I'm guessing that's the reason why. Crosby, thank you for confirming that you can hear me. Audio looks all good on the stream, so let's jump straight in. So guys, welcome to July. We are officially halfway through the year, and I mean 2025 is already flying by so fast. So if you haven't kind of knuckled down in this year so far, this is the best time to do so. We're halfway through. Let's make the next 6 months count big time. So welcome to Darwinex's welcome session today. It's the first one of July, so I'm really excited to get into it. My name is Kieran, and I'm head of the UK growth and business development for Darwinex and Darwinex Zero. And if you haven't heard about Darwinex or you don't know too much about us, we are a regulated asset manager and broker here in the UK. We also have headquarters out in Spain. That's where Darwinex was born. And thus we're regulated by the FCA in the UK, by the CNMV in Spain, and also by the FSA in the Seychelles. That goes for our broker and asset management license. We currently have over 100 million US dollars invested in the Darwinex marketplace. Now, this comes from third-party investors, so wealth managers, hedge funds, family offices, private high net worth individuals, etc., etc. And we currently have over 10,000 active strategies on the Darwinex marketplace, be it through Darwinex Zero or Darwinex. Our job as a business and as a company is to bring capital to traders and give traders the ability and the infrastructure to grow as a retail trader without having to change too much of their life. What I mean by that is a lot of retail traders now will trade around their job, or they'll trade from home, whatever their situation may be. Darwinex is here to allow you to stay in that situation, but allow you to scale also, so you don't have to go and get a job at a professional prop desk or work in the city, for example. Now, what is Darwinex Zero? So Darwinex Zero, I've split this down into 3 points, which are the three most important points, I believe. So number one, it's the only place that you can become a professional asset manager and access third-party investor capital as a retail trader. Okay. Now, there's a couple of caveats to this. The main one being that we should become a professional asset manager legally. Okay. So depending on where you are in the world, there's going to be various restrictions from a regulatory perspective, especially where I'm based in the UK. We have the FCA, and they are really strict when it comes to managing other people's capital. Now, trying to manage other people's capital as a retail trader is virtually impossible. It costs a hell of a lot of money. It takes a lot of time to get approved, and even then they can turn around and say no. Darwinex has our licenses. We have the regulatory oversight. We allow you to come on as a retail trader, provide us with your trades, and we give you the regulatory cover to take on investor capital. It isn't just made up capital. It isn't just virtual capital. We do have, as I mentioned, 100 million US dollars invested by real investors, and we've also launching our hedge fund within the next week or two as well. So our aim now is to just grow as a business, grow and scale our capital, which then filters down into our traders. Number two, Darwinex Zero is the best place to develop as a trader and end up building your own fund. Now, we're going to get into the roadmap shortly of trading through Darwinex Zero. So this will make a little bit more sense when we go through that. But we give you so many tools and sessions like this to be able to understand yourself as a trader in a little bit more detail, and therefore grow your career and be able to take that next step. With the end goal of having your own network of private investors and building your own fund. And then you can access all of this infrastructure using a live account through Darwinex, which is our regulated entity, or with virtual capital with zero risk through Darwinex Zero. So the roadmap to becoming a capitalized trader. I usually talk too much when I'm going through this slide, so I'm going to keep it fairly chilled. And guys, if you have any questions to go through this, please just put whatever platform you're watching the stream on, please just put a comment in the comment section, and I'll go through all the questions as I go if they're relevant, or I'll leave them till the end and I'll cover them all then. Now, What's important to note before we look at this roadmap is that we risk adjust every single trader on our platform. So every trader that you see, regardless of style, length of holding their trades, whatever it may be, all operate with the same risk exposure. If you want to know a little bit more about that, then I recommend coming to one of our Thursday sessions at 4 p.m. UK time, where I do go over this in more detail because it is a little bit more advanced as to what we're going to cover today. All you need to know today is that we cover all of our traders with the same risk. Okay, so every trader is using the same amount of risk to generate a return. Now, with that in mind, we put every trader through something that we call the calibration phase. And this isn't a pass or fail assessment. It's just a period of time where our risk engine, the thing that adjusts your risk, it's where our risk engine learns your behavior, understands how you trade, and then understands how to adjust your risk. So, for example, if you're operating at too high of a risk, the risk engine might figure out the best thing to do is to tune your risk down at Darwin level, which is what we call your Darwinex account. If you're operating with too little risk on your MetaTrader account or your Signal account, as we call it, the risk engine might find it prudent to actually scale your risk up and to increase your risk exposure. It's all done mathematically. There's no preferential treatment given to any specific trader or trading strategy or style. It's all done based on your exposure, which, again, we can cover a lot more in the Thursday session. So I definitely recommend coming to that. The calibration phase usually lasts from anywhere between 3 weeks to 4 weeks, but it can last longer depending on your style and whether you start changing your risk parameters during the calibration phase. Remember, our risk engine is looking for consistency. So if you're chopping and changing certain things and your behavior is really erratic, it might take slightly longer than 3 weeks to understand your behavior. However, having said that, the target is 15 trading days, i.e. 3 weeks, and 25 relevant trading decisions. Now, those trading decisions are all based off of your first trading decision. So again, as I say, if your behavior is a little bit erratic and you change your risk and you start peppering different amounts of trades every day, again, it's going to take a little bit longer for the risk engine to understand what you do. Once your Darwin has completed the calibration phase, it will be created on the following Monday. So regardless of what day of the week you finish your phase, so whenever you finish your 25 decisions and your 15 trading days, your Darwin will always be created on the following Monday. So if it's done on Friday, you'll wait the weekend and it's on Monday. If it's done on a Monday, you will have to wait the whole week until the following Monday. It's the way that we do it. We create them over the weekend and they go live on a Monday. Now, once your Darwin is live, that therefore means you are in the DarwinIA program. Every trader on our platform is in the DarwinIA program, and it's basically our monthly leaderboard, right? It's comparing you against every other trader on the platform, and you're all competing on a monthly basis for capital allocations. Now, as of right now, I think we allocate anywhere between 1,000 to 1,200, maybe 1,300 Darwins a month, which means we do have a ridiculously high success rate of traders getting capital allocations on a monthly basis. In DarwinIA Silver, which I'll pull up in a moment, we do have a rating leaderboard, which is based on your current month's return, your previous 5 months return, so 6 months in total, and your previous 6 months drawdown. So it's basically a snapshot of your performance, will give you a rating. Any rating above 75, you will earn at least 30,000 euros allocation into your account in that given month. Those allocations last for 3 months in DarwinIA Silver, but they can stack on top of each other. So if you get 30,000 6 months in a row, you'll go 30, 60, 90, 90, 90, 90, because as you add another allocation, the original one drops off, and so on and so forth. In DarwinIA Silver, they range from 30,000 euros to the top spot, which is 375,000 euros. And then, like I say, they last for 3 months. In conjunction to that, we do have our permanent allocations, which went live towards the back end of last year and have been a huge success with a lot of our existing clients. And all this is basically 100,000 euro, what it says on the tin, permanent allocation. Now that means that once you've activated the permanent allocation on your account, the allocation will never go, no matter whether you're going to draw down or take your time to try and make money with it. Basically, it will always be on your account no matter what. So once you've activated it, I'll wait until we've got a slide to talk about permanent allocation. So I'll go through the different options that we have when we bring up that slide. But this is in conjunction to DarwinIA. So it's on top of. You can earn performance fees from them separately. Now, where it gets interesting is the second tier of DarwinIA, which is DarwinIA Gold. Now, realistically, only the good traders, long term, get into DarwinIA Gold. And the reason for that is you have to build a track record of at least 8 months, okay? Which doesn't sound a lot, but it's very difficult to do so. You have to have a return of over 20% with a minimum return to drawdown ratio of 2.5 to 1, which basically means if you have a 25% return, you can't have over a 10% drawdown. Otherwise, you'll be ineligible to move into DarwinIA Gold. Now, DarwinIA Gold, you don't get a rating on your Darwin. Your capital allocations are based on your return for that given month. So it's a lot simpler to calculate how much allocation that you're going to receive that month. The allocations go from 50 to 500,000 in DarwinIA Gold as well. So they are much larger than in silver, and they actually last for 6 months instead of 3 months. So getting to DarwinIA Gold is kind of like the premium tier of the program. I think currently we've probably got about 300 traders in there out of the 8,500 currently through Darwinex Zero. So like I say, is the premium creme de la creme of Darwinex Zero traders and Darwinex traders. Now, what's also interesting is when you get promoted to DarwinIA Gold, you then become open to investors. So you get access to our investor marketplace where there's, again, as I mentioned, hedge funds, wealth offices, family offices, wealth managers, high net worth clients, whoever it may be. They can go onto the marketplace, search for any Darwin that they want based on performance metrics, where you are in the world, whatever they see fit, and they can allocate capital to you, which you then earn a performance fee from. Considerate of you making money, of course. And then finally, we have the Darwinex Index, which is the Darwinex hedge fund, which is going live, as I mentioned, within the next week or two, fingers crossed. Now, our job with the index is just to scale it. The infrastructure is there. All we need to do is bring more capital. So our job as a business now is to find more capital, bring it to the hedge fund, and then that will trickle through our traders. Now, currently, I think there's just over 100 Darwins in the index, which means that we are actively allocating capital to our traders through our hedge fund. Just over 100 of which there are classic Darwins, which means from Darwinex, there are Darwinex Zero Darwins, but we aim to diversify and bring in the top performers to the index, giving investors great risk-adjusted returns, diversified returns, giving our traders more capital, and of course, growing our business as well. It's a win-win-win situation for everybody involved. Now, we've already been through the calibration phase, but as I say, you have approximately 3 trading weeks to pass it. No, I worded that really poorly. It takes about 3 trading weeks to pass the calibration phase. It's not a pass or fail assessment. Once you come out of the calibration phase, your Darwin is then eligible for allocations. The permanent allocation, if I could speak today, that would be fantastic. You, as the trader, have to activate the add-on. So it is an optional upgrade. You don't have to have it. There's no pressure to have it, but a lot of our traders opt for this. You decide whether you want an instant allocation or one with a growth target. And then once you've decided that and activated it and passed the growth phase, you have 100,000 euros allocated to your account permanently. Now, this highlights the prices of the different growth targets. Okay, so we have the 0%, which is the instant allocation. So once you've paid for that and activated it on your account, it's instantly available, which means on the next trade, you'll be earning performance fees. With the 5, 10, 15, and 20% growth targets, that means that once you've activated it, you would have to make 5, 10, 15, or 20% on your Darwin, which is risk adjusted, to get the 100K allocated. So if I chose the 5%, I would have to make 5%, and that's when the permanent allocation would be activated. So then if I made another 5%, I'd be making 5% on the permanent allocation, not 10%. DarwinIA Silver and Gold, as I mentioned, there's 2 different levels. It's run as a monthly competition and does run in conjunction with permanent allocations. It's not a one or the other kind of thing. As I mentioned, we have the rating-based leaderboard for DarwinIA Silver, which is your current month's return, your previous 5 months return, and your previous 6 months drawdown. Those are the 3 things that build your rating with the highest, highest allocation, I guess, of this going towards a 5 months return. So what's really important here is your performance over the past 6 months or past 5 months. Now, the Darwinex Index, as I mentioned, we have thousands and thousands of traders here at Darwinex Zero, all with one goal. Now, what we want to do is bring more capital for every single trader, and the way that we do that moving forward is through the Darwinex index or our hedge fund. Now, what we're trying to do is build the strongest strategy together. So, as I mentioned, this is a combined portfolio of 100 plus of our top performers. Now, that can adjust. So if a trader's performance dips and another trader's performance increases, we can swap it out. We update it in real time. And this is managed in-house by our Darwinex Labs team. As you can see, the performance over the past 5 years, it's been pretty steady year after year, and has done a total of 225.33% returns. Again, this is risk adjusted. This is diversified. The max drawdown, can't remember off the top of my head. Let me grab it up so that I can show you. I think it's 12% maybe. Yeah, 12.27%. So you can see this is since June 2020. All market conditions, it's performed every single market cycle. And you can see we've had a 12.27% drawdown over that period of time. Beautiful equity curve. The thing that's really important to note about this, because I actually had a conversation about this before, and somebody said, you know, the returns are very similar to the S&P. What's the difference? Why should I choose the index over the S&P? And all I said was this is a non-directional bias asset, right? The S&P needs growth. It needs the economy to boom. The index doesn't need a market direction to thrive. We have traders going long, short. It's completely diversified and irrelevant of market direction. Market volatility is a little bit different, right? Some traders struggle during market volatility. However, direction, it doesn't. So if you're in a bear market, which, you know, for 2020, we had COVID, there was no real disruptions. The only time really where we've seen a bit of a dip was Trump markets earlier in this year. But you can see the recovery factor is super high, and it's managed to bounce back, and we made new all-time highs recently. So the index is something that I'm really excited for. As I mentioned, it's going live within the next week or two, so stay tuned for that. I think it's great for everybody involved. It's great for us at Darwinex because it allows us to grow and scale our business. It's great for our investors because we basically take the decision making away from them. We give them a full scale solution, which is all regulated within Darwinex. And it's great for the traders because essentially the more investors that we bring, the more capital we can give to our traders. Something that not a lot of people are aware of is because we have both companies, we have Darwinex Zero and we have Darwinex, is that you can migrate from Darwinex Zero to Darwinex at any time that you want. So your goal of investor capital is there whether you're trading through Darwinex or whether you're trading through Darwinex Zero. And what's really important to note is the only difference that you have is how you pay for the service. Darwinex Zero has a monthly subscription, of course. Darwinex, you don't pay a single penny because you're trading through our live FCA broker. Now, what that means is that, of course, you're going to be paying broker commissions, and we profit off that as a broker, which allows us to provide the service for free to Darwinex clients. Makes no difference to us whether you trade through Darwinex Zero and don't put any of your own capital at risk, or whether you trade through Darwinex. Of course, I can't advise because I can't tell you whether to open a live account or not. However, that decision is completely down to you. All that we say is that if you're not 100% confident, if you haven't been trading for a long time, stay with Darwinex Zero. It's safer. You have zero risk to your own capital. Whereas in Darwinex, you know, you always run the risk of, as the trader, putting 10 times the amount of risk on that you meant to and coming back to a 50% drawdown. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, and we would never want that to happen. So that's completely down to you as a trader. The main message here is that you will achieve the same things regardless of how you pay for the service, basically. One of the most overlooked things about Darwinex Zero is the metrics, statistics, and insights we give to you about your trading strategy. I actually run weekly sessions on a Wednesday where I spend the whole hour analyzing somebody's Darwin. Now, that means I go into a load of different variables that the trader might not have looked at before, such as day of the week, assets that they trade, their maximum excursions, and all of this sort of stuff. But it's only as good it's only good if you actually embrace this sort of stuff, right? It's very easy to get stuck on one technical variable and think about a trading pattern and how do I improve this? How do I look at a chart and know where price is going better? But quite often, actually, the real source and the real growth is found in your metrics. It's found in your past data and your history, because there might be something that, you know, keeps tripping you up, trade in, trade out, and you just don't know about it, and you're searching the charts for answers. For example, THA, who's our most capitalized Darwin with 22.5 million under management, he's got a 10-year long track record. On a Thursday, he's produced a 225% return over the 10 years on Thursdays. On Mondays, he's actually down almost 9%. So he's never made money on a Monday. He's been trading for over 10 years. He's a professional. He has his own fund managing $22.5 million, but he can't trade on a Monday, right? I feel bad saying that. His trading performance on a Monday is negative over a 10-year period. However, you look at his Thursday and he's way, way, way high, okay? But you wouldn't know that unless you looked at your journal, unless you looked at your metrics and understood that from a holistic perspective, rather than just looking at the charts and going, well, how do I improve this? How do I, stick to this one variable? You have to expand your knowledge, and we try to give you as much as we can to help you do that. If you haven't been to one of my strategy development sessions, I highly, highly recommend it. Again, I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time to go through that. But we do them on a weekly basis, and they're all uploaded onto our X or YouTube account. So I definitely recommend going and watching some of our old ones, because there's months worth of sessions now. But it always helps coming live. And if you want me to analyze your Darwin, then feel free to come and put your hand up in the session, and I'll do it live for you. We also have a great trading community. We've currently got 10,300 members in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, I highly recommend joining. If you are a DarwinX Zero client, it's the best place to get community support, right? If you come in and you have a question or there's something that you don't understand, I'm in there pretty much all day. I clock off at the end of the day to go and spend some time with my kids, so you have to bear with me at that time. But other than that, I'm pretty much around 24/7. And if I'm not, we have so many great guys and girls in the Discord server who will answer your questions on my behalf. I trust them all. Their knowledge is fantastic. And it's just great to come and chat to other like-minded traders who are also great at what they do. We do have a partner program as well, so we're always looking to partner with good traders. And traders who have a platform and are spreading a good message. We don't want any Lambo guys. We don't want any of those sorts of people to promote the product. But what we do want is to align ourselves with ethical traders who have a good platform. So if that is you, please get in touch. Either DM us on whatever social media platform you're using, or feel free to jump in the Discord and direct message me from there. I have the little orange tick, so don't get me confused with any fake accounts of me, because there's lots. And then lastly, we have a member get member scheme, which basically means we will reward you for bringing your friends and family to DarwinX Zero. So you have your own unique member get member code. Share that around, put it on Reddit, send it to your friends who trade. If they join DarwinX Zero, we will credit you with a 3-month subscription after they paid for 2 months of the service. And finally, I just want to say a massive thank you for attending the session. I can't see any questions as of right now, but I'm going to give you guys a moment to put any questions in if you have any. Again, I'll be back tomorrow for a strategy development session. Highly recommend anybody joining that. They're my favorite sessions that I run on a weekly basis. And then we'll be back on Thursday to talk more about risk, value at risk, exposure, and all of the more advanced concepts. I can see there's a comment on YouTube from Fulfillment. Thank you for your presentations, Kieran. I appreciate that, dude. It's no problem. Are the performance fees being paid on a monthly basis on both DarwinX Zero and DarwinX Classic accounts now? Thanks in advance. So, as of right now, no, but we are looking to bring everything that we have at DarwinX Zero, we're looking to bring to DarwinX Classic. So I should caveat that with permanent allocations are still only available on DarwinX Zero. However, what we're doing now is we are working to basically unify the service so that it's completely a mirror image of each other right now. It's going to take some time, of course, as with all of the developments that we make, because we want to make sure that we do things properly and that we run simulation tests and risk tests on the back end before we release anything. But I know that that's in the plans. So, yeah, all I'll say is just be patient if that's what you're waiting for. Awesome. I'm glad I answered your question fulfillment, and thank you for watching. Guys, I'm just going to check Instagram first because I don't even know if the stream's been working. Vibrant Trader, nice. Thank you for your time. It's an absolute pleasure. Mark Lee, hello, sir. Have a nice day. You too. You too. All looks and sounds good. IX Trader Show, London. We'll be down at the IX Trader Show in London as well in September. So if you guys want to meet me or any of the Darwinex team, we will be there. Probably be partnering around. I think I might be talking at the event. We'll see. Bit nerve-wracking. I'm used to sitting behind a camera and not seeing anybody who I'm talking to, so it's a bit of a different kettle of fish, but we'll see. I'm not sure. We haven't locked anything in yet, which reminds me, I'll email the guys at the show. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble now, and that's where I know I need to close things down. So guys, have a fantastic rest of your afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. Like I say, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time to do the strategy development session. And if you missed some of this session and want to watch it back, it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel or our Twitter channel straight away. So guys, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.